Here we go. It's your coach, Pauly C, owner of the Vision Realty Group in Austin, Texas. And today we're talking about 3 specific things to be able to close on more appointments. So regardless of where a lead comes from, your cold calling, open house, marketing leads, your door knocking, a lead from your sphere of influence, it can get weird. You can feel salesy. It feels like the conversation's just weird. And when you're weird, it makes them weird, and 2 weirdos don't equal an appointment. And so what happens? People end up ghosting you. You have commission breath, right? They can smell it. It doesn't feel good. And when you don't feel good, it doesn't feel good for them because they hear less what you say and more how you feel. And if you feel salesy, it just ain't happening. Okay, so I'm gonna provide 3 things today to be able to set more appointments because look, real estate is about relationships. We all know this, and because the conversation is the relationship. Now, if real estate's about relationships and the conversation is about the relationship, meaning, look, all of my relationships are rooted in how good the conversation is or isn't. And so the quality of my conversation, because we get paid by what we say and how often we say it. So this is about having better conversations. And so having real conversations, authentic conversations, is about getting better appointments. And so that leads us as a segue into my first point, which is authenticity and identity. And so authenticity actually is rooted in who you are. Because when you feel confident in who you are, when you're comfortable with who you are, then you'll have clarity with who you are. And then now everything that comes out of your mouth, whether you are stumbling or bumbling over your words, or you're not quite sure what the next best thing to say is, you can remain rooted in that confidence. And you'll be able to continuously and comfortably maneuver through the conversation. And because energy is real and because energy is contagious, then they can vibe that confidence. They can feel it, they can hear it, they can see it, and they're attracted to it. And so authenticity, that identity and who you are. Who are you in these conversations? Are you a salesman trying to close 5 times? Look, then it's gonna come off that way. It's gonna feel that way. Are you a connector who seeks to understand by asking good questions? Then that authenticity on wanting to make a connection will absolutely come through. Okay, second point is knowing what to say. So look, you can have all the authenticity in the world, but if you're not quite sure how to maneuver through a conversation, then you may bumble and fumble and stumble and not necessarily move through the conversation in a more efficient and effective way. So look, because we don't get paid by the hour, as salespeople, I'm looking to be able to be more efficient in my conversations, to be able to connect with people faster, to understand them quicker. And so knowing what to say is essential because we get paid by what we say and how often we say it. It is critical for you to be able to understand the conversation. Now look, put down these stereotypes or stigmas you have around scripts. And if you truly care about people, then you'll be able to use scripts as a way to not confine you, but the scripts should release you. All right, how does that happen? So look, once you internalize the scripts, you'll be able to personalize the scripts. And so this is not about conforming you to a format of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is about internalizing a dialogue, internalizing conversation, because it never goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're gonna have to jump around. You absolutely should be asking questions off of the questions, but you're not gonna be comfortable in that until you practice that. Doctors practice, attorneys practice. What makes you any different if you wanna make $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year? your ability to have better conversation and knowing the conversation. Okay, so the third point is being comfortable in control. Now, when you have authenticity, you know who you are and why you're doing it, and you're comfortable with knowing what to say through resistance or through objections, then you can be comfortable in control. Because some of us we have stigmas, we have stereotypes around sales because we've experienced salesiness, we've experienced commission breath, and so we don't feel comfortable in control. We don't want to come off salesy. And so those first 2 points, authenticity and knowing what to say, allows you to project the energy of, I really want to know. I'm intensely curious about what you have to say so that I can understand you and so that I can serve you. And so then it doesn't come off salesy as you're maneuvering through the conversation. It comes off as someone who has a desire to understand and connect, and so you can control the conversation and be intentional about where we're going. Because look, this conversation, if I'm talking to somebody, needs to get to an appointment, because that's where the relationship really starts. Now, we said real estate was about relationships, so to start the relationship, I need to get to an appointment where I'm presenting. Now, there's consultations and there's casual conversations before I talk to people, or when I'm talking to people and I'm trying to get them to move forward. But if I want a real relationship, I need a proposal. And that proposal happens at the appointment where I'm presenting my value as a buyer's agent, my value as a listing agent. And so I need to control the conversation to get there. And when I have that authenticity, I know what to say, then I can comfortably and confidently and in a caring way help them feel like that's the next best step. Because if you're not driving, you're riding. Okay, and a lot of you are riding along in the conversation, waiting to see where they'll take you, or if they'll have an epiphany of enlightenment to say, hey, we should sit down and talk. Now, sometimes that happens, but not that often. And so you got to drive in these conversations, because if you're not driving, you ride. So drive these conversations with empathy, with love, and with care, seeking to understand, having authenticity in really wanting to understand and know people, so that those questions come off not as the next best question on the script, but as caring and understanding ways to communicate, to figure out what's best for you. Because I don't really want to get people to do things. I'm just looking to understand if there's something for them to do. And so when I'm asking those questions with care, because I've internalized the script, so I can personalize the script, then I can help control the conversation into our next best step, which is the appointment. Hey, this is about serving more people. This is about connecting with more people. And when you do that, now you've really tapped into the power of Real Sales Talk.